28th. Y'all see that pond out there that was connected to that lake? The 31st, I will have been here for 2 weeks, and this thing is like dried out over here since in just under 2 weeks. 28th, 29th, 30th, 31. 3 more days. I'll have been here for 2 weeks. But I find it a little odd that, you know, in the time that I've been here, that this has happened, you know. I find it a little odd. But I also know what time it is. The thing that I just find odd is because of that dream that I had, where, you know, the lake was empty and all the fruit that was attached to the vine was ripe and ready for harvest. Okay, that's what I seen, like it was harvest time. And then seeing the things at the Walmart, you know, just past Halloween, I seen the harvest signs, you know. And somebody just said, last night I was having real strange dreams, man. Like somebody that was in power, like a ruler, was getting ready, that died. Well, they died. And they were encasing their rings. Had something to do with their rings. I don't understand that. Their rings were being put in something and they were putting gold over them. Gold, encasing them in gold. Their rings that they would wear on their fingers, okay? I seen 2 rings in there. I don't know what that means. I've been thinking about it. It's a very strange dream. But what I was thinking was somebody is coming to replace that one person that died. And were those rings something to do with an Illuminati member? I don't know. But anyhow, somebody just, Danny just sent me a thing where she's saying where she works as a security guard. It's owned by a guy from India, an India guy, where they believe in Hindu, the Hindu god or whatever, something like that. Well, she said he sent her a thing saying happy, some kind of a happy day or whatever. It's a celebration they believe in. And she took in, she said that it's actually going to be like around Halloween. They're celebrating on Halloween. And I believe this spirit or whatever it is, it's coming. It's coming, and I believe we're going. Okay? Because when it comes, it's going to be wickety-wickety. That's what I'm thinking. And that dream that I had last night, even though it was hard to make it out, and then all of a sudden she sends me this text about this. It's like it's the holiday that they celebrate. It just happens to be falling on Halloween. You know what I mean? It's wickety-wickety. We know what time it is. We're not of the dark. We are of the light. That's why we were chosen by the Lord. Okay? You know, my dreams aren't what they used to be. You know, a long time ago, when I was getting spiritually attacked, man, it was like, wow. You know, it was like, you know, I didn't like it. Now, it's like, it's not, you know, it's different. You know, it's like I'm seeing things and I'm trying to put it together. Had something to do with a reading that the Jewish people believed in. And then when they were doing this thing, according to their Jewish calendar holiday, this is where it's getting puzzling. Because, see, that's when that guy died. They were, they did some sort of a ritual reading that they have to do, and it has to be done right. You know, like it has to be done right. And he had certain things set up around him that made it to where when it's said right, the king or whatever, it has to be done because it's a like a ritual. That's, you know, I can't understand it. But right after he did this, he went up there and did it. That king got down and bowed to him, but he ended up dying. And they took his rings and they encased them inside of a like a little box, but they put like gold over it. I don't know. I'm just sharing it. That's what I seen. So if you guys can help me to interpret that one, I'd appreciate it. This is like something else, isn't it? And then she called me about saying something about these people from India that own a security company here in America celebrating a Hindu god or something, which, we all know that they're all of the devil, and just happens to be falling on Halloween night. Normally it doesn't do that, but now it is. They call it like their Happy New Year, like it's a holiday, but to them, this is a new year to them, where it's, like their new year is starting or something now, or coming up in a few days. That's going to be their new year. Other words, you know how we celebrated in December? Well, time's not what we think it is, okay? We know that the Lord's going to remove us from this. We know this. And He's got a place that He's going to take us for safety for a little while. Well, all this stuff goes on. What's getting ready to happen here? It's coming. Big old hawk there, man. It's coming. I know a lot of us are all looking forward to it, ready to get out of here. Now, I was talking to people that, like the anointing and stuff like that with oil. Listen. I know you can have oil or whatever anointed, like have it blessed. But, my faith is in the blood of Jesus Christ. I'm just going to say it like that. I have more faith in the blood of Christ being all over me. And you guys see it in this picture right here. You see that anointment over my head? There's something being poured on my head. But you notice it's in the spirit that it's being done. It's not in the physical. It's in the spiritual. I'm all about the spirit. Okay? So, that's all I can say about that. I'm more all about the spirit. I think more in the spirit than I do this flesh. And I guess the reason for that is because, we're soon getting ready to lose this flesh. This is all soon getting ready to, we're going to lose this flesh here pretty soon. Yeah, my check engine light used to be on, now it went out. I guess that sensor for my gear shifting started working again. I don't know. The guy said that's the reason why the light came on, and I just said, shifting gears just fine, I ain't going to worry about it. But, with that being said, my faith is in Jesus Christ, okay? I don't care. I have a lot of those Illuminati things showing up on my channel all the time saying, look at this is what the Illuminati did there, and look at what they have in their churches, and I'm like, I'm not interested. In other words, I don't watch it. I don't care to watch it. I don't care what they did. I only know that they're all going to hell. I know that my Lord, who I serve, is fixing to lay these people to waste. They're all fixing to be laid to waste. I wish more people had their faith, stronger faith See, when I say faith, everything here is dying out. All the grass, everything, man. You can see it because there's not been no water. No water. They're in a big drought here in Alabama. It just seems we just happen to be coming in around Halloween. And these Hindu people are celebrating they're all under strong delusion because they've been worshiping all these fake gods. They're not going to see it coming. They won't see it coming. They're not going to like who they're worshiping either. They're going to really be disappointed. You know what I mean? I'm ready. I mean, I'd like to always be more ready. That's what I like about faith, man. Let me tell you something. These battles, when we have these spiritual battles, I promise you, you will get stronger. I had a time, man, when I'd get ready to go into sleep at night, I'd be going, oh, man. Like, I knew, it's like I know I got a fight coming on now. As soon as I lay my head down and go to sleep, I got a battle. I know I do. Let me tell you something. I got to the point where every night I knew I was going to have a battle. I'm serious. This was like every night, not just, maybe I will, maybe I won't. This was like, you are going to have one. As soon as you lay down and go to sleep, I knew I was going to have one. And let me tell you something. You're going to get stronger. You will. Especially when you don't like them. See, what they try to do is they'll try to give you sexual, spiritual attacks, but they want you to like it. And if you get into it and you like it, then they're going to start perverting your mind, perverting your thinking. But if you don't like it, you know what? I'm going to go to the other one, and eat this morning. If you don't like it, then you're going to resist it. You're going to wake up. You're going to fight it. But if you're, if you fall into it liking it. See, another thing, a lot of people are telling me how they're having a lot of spiritual attacks. Real heavy right now. Listen, I've always had them. I'm having dreams, visions, different kinds of stuff. It's all the time. All the time. I don't even worry about it anymore. I just let it come. Come on, bring it on. If it's a battle, it's a battle, And the battles are less now. Ever since they said that they said I didn't belong here. And it's like as if they didn't want to fight with me no more. Because they knew. Because you overcome these things, okay? Remember, when we come back with Christ, man, we're the chosen, okay? We're the faithful. And we don't run from these battles. We fight them. We get stronger at them. And I promise you, they're going to get weaker and weaker the stronger you get. Believe it or not, it's like exercising, working out, unless you fall into it and you really like it and, they pervert your mind. See, a lot of people are saying how they're having these attacks, but I'm telling you right now, nobody's going to escape them. You're not going to get a good night's sleep. You have to battle them. You have to. There's no getting around it. This is something you have to overcome. And the Lord says, His grace is sufficient enough, man. He doesn't give you anything you can't handle. I'm telling you, man, I know what I went through, and it wasn't pleasant. I didn't like it, but it's not as bad anymore. I still have these dreams like I shared with you guys on this one. So I asked you if you could help me kind of, anybody that's got any discernment on this, because it's a little confusing. I felt like somebody died, and their rings were being encased. 2 rings were being put inside this thing, and then they were like putting gold over it, and I don't understand it. And then that king died. He had to get down because somebody read something to him on a ritual like, and then he got down and bowed before them. Even though he was a king, he got down and bowed before them, and then he died. Now, I know Obama's been known to bow to these people. You know, he's taken America and has made them bow. I know he has. He's bowed to the Egyptian king and stuff over there. I've seen it. He did that a long time ago. But I had this dream tonight. And then the rings were taken off of him. Have you ever seen that one movie that's something about to do with that ring? That troll or whatever that had that ring that made him invisible? They were trying to take those rings and throw them in the fire to kill it. Like it was some kind of a demon spirit or something. I don't know. I can't figure that one out. I just know that this ritual was read off a certain way. Then that guy bowed to him, and then he died. And then somebody else is rising to power. And I noticed everything. It was almost like this nation, man. Like, while this guy was in power, everything was being trashed. You know, the vehicles, everything, man. It was like all materialistic stuff, but it was all being trashed. You know, I went to go get in a vehicle and the ignition was all torn apart, you know, where you couldn't even put a key in it. It was all torn apart, and I'm like, what the heck, you know? I went and looked at this other car, and it was like somebody pulled in and backed over the top of the trunk part of the car. It was like weird, man. Weird. It was like everything was trashed, you know, like nothing was taken care of, you know, in this dream. If you guys can help with any discernment, man, I'd appreciate it, you know. I could use a little help. The scoffers and mockers, we don't, you know, you guys, as soon as you guys pop up, I'm blocking you. Unfortunately, some of the people have to listen to you. Because it's going to be up for them. They have to block you personally themselves in order to not see your comments anymore. And that's just where I'm at. I block it to where I don't see them no more because I really don't care to hear them. We're getting ready to go home. I know we are. Here it is Halloween, you know, and I seen where this guy bowed after a certain ritual thing was read. And then he got down on his knees and he bowed on the ground to this person, and then he died. And then it's like somebody else is getting ready to come to power. And then I get this text from Dana telling me how the Hindu gods believe that their God is coming now, you know, that they're believing that he's coming now. Just like we're waiting on Jesus now, they're waiting on some other Hindu god. And there's like 3 of their Hindu gods. See, the devil tries to copy the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay? That's what the devil does. He tries to copy God in heaven. And these people don't even have enough sense to know it. But anyhow, that part where it says we get taken into a place of shelter for like 3 years, 3.5 years, while all this horrible stuff goes on here. I think that's what's getting ready to happen. Where that little girl, Lexi, was going, we're having a party, like she was all excited, you know. And I believe that's where the Lord's going to take us. And then the time that we're there, we're going to be celebrating. And while we're there celebrating, this time is going to have passed here. And to us, it's going to be like one big party. And then we'll be coming back here. He's going to be taking us to a place of safety, you know, for what's about to happen here. And look I'm seeing everything dying around me here. It's like, you know, what are the odds that I would come here? And then here's that lake drying out in front of me too. You know, I mean, what are the odds of that? You know, and I remember that lake. It was all muddy. Then you guys seen where I tossed that turtle out there and it landed in the mud. And I had to go out there to get it out, to get it into the water. And now, where I went out there in the mud, because you seen where I sank in it, I went out, I filmed it, and it's all dried across there now, except for that water where it's streaming in from that stream. But even the water that's coming in from that stream that's constantly running, you know, that's even low. Like there's not a lot there to it. Yeah, people have no idea, man. It's as if everybody's in a stupor. Troy University. Troy. See, they even name stuff after these false gods and stuff. You know, when you look around, you start seeing it everywhere. Well, if anybody's got any good ideas on that, you know, like I said, the guy, it was like somebody was reading a certain ritual that once it was done, this guy that was a king, he died. He immediately died, and it was like somebody else was coming to replace him that was worse than him. Which that could be the Antichrist that's getting ready to come. That I'm pretty sure that's what that is. I don't know. I'm sure I know the Antichrist is getting ready to be revealed, and I also know that we're getting ready to be taken. You know, it's crazy. But anyhow, you know, if you guys got any ideas what that was all about, the rings being encased in gold or something, you know, I don't understand all that. God bless yous. I hope you got something out of this message, because I sure didn't, you know. I'm still trying to figure that out, man. I know the 30th, she said the Hindus, the people from India, they're celebrating this Halloween. The 30th or the 31st, they're celebrating their God like he's coming back now. That's what they believe somehow, you know. They're all excited about it. God bless yous.